Hi, Susan Modest here, and today I'm talking to the people who are still a little bit skeptical of Bitcoin, or the people who are already pretty much on board but are just trying to understand it a little bit more. And let me first preface this with the fact that I do a lot of study of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because it's something that I'm very interested in, and I encourage you to do the same. One of the people that I follow to get some of the best information that I've been able to find is Andreas Antonopoulos. Hopefully I said that correctly. And so you can find his YouTube videos. You can see him, of course, on Facebook. And just, do your own researching and get yourself as informed as possible. Of course, there's other ways to get informed about cryptocurrency, and one of the best ways I found is through an educational platform on multiple cryptocurrencies that can even teach you, how to trade on your own, which is one of the most lucrative ways to multiply your Bitcoin. So I will put a link for that in the description box here for you guys if you wanted to check that out. But of course, you can find a lot of resources on YouTube, and I would suggest that you do your research. But I wanted to talk mainly about the volatility, because what I hear from a lot of people is that they have a nervousness about, first of all, getting involved with Bitcoin at all, as well as investing because of what they quote unquote volatility. And the thing is, what I think we need to understand and put in perspective is that all currencies have volatility. The reason why cryptocurrencies seem to have more volatility than other currencies is because cryptocurrencies are smaller. The market is smaller. So to give you some perspective on that, right now Bitcoin is at about the 10 billion mark. And the US dollar is in the trillions. And on a daily basis, the transactions of US dollars are in the multiple billions. So transactions alone encompass basically the Bitcoin market right now. So that's just to put it in perspective. And again, Andreas Antonopoulos, I can only say his first name really well, so I'll be calling him Andreas from now on. He gave the example. He's like, think about currency as being a boat. And if you have a currency that is very, very big and has a very big market share, you're not going to feel the turbulence, kind of like you wouldn't feel the turbulence as much in a big boat. If you're on an ocean liner or something really big, you're not going to feel the little waves and ripples the way you would if you were in a smaller boat or rowboat, sailboat, whatever. You're going to obviously feel it more there. And that's why we see and feel the effects of the volatility of cryptocurrencies more so than we do with the big currencies. But of course, the big currencies do have their own fluctuation. We just don't even notice it unless it's a huge fluctuation for that reason. Some other things to think about. Bitcoin is traded against about almost 40 other currencies. So the good thing about that is it's being traded against some stable, already in use, already circulating currencies. And it trades well against those. And that's why trading is such a profitable way to go right now. And so, of course, you can learn trading on your own, or you could have professionals do it for you. I tend to let professionals do it. I am learning how to do it on my own on the same platform that I just talked about with you. But I tend to let professionals do the trading, but it's traded against all of these other currencies. So let your mind kind of wrap around that a little bit. When some people are still arguing whether Bitcoin is even a real currency, understand that it's being traded against already established currencies, including the US dollar. So in the economics world, in the financial world, with the experts, they're not questioning whether or not Bitcoin is an actual currency. So we as lay people should take a cue from that. And it's not something that we need to be worried about. And as far as the volatility, know this. Bitcoin is actually less volatile than at least 20, maybe even 25 of the other national currencies. There are 194 different currencies out there, that are just related to countries. And Bitcoin is right now already, as new as it is, just having started in 2009 and being a completely different type of currency, is already more stable, therefore less volatile than at least 20 other established national currencies. These are the things that you need to understand. And the more and more people use Bitcoin, is the bigger it's going to get, the bigger its market share is going to get, and the more stable it's going to be, the less volatile it's going to be. Right now, we see rise and fall all the time. And I tell you, and if you've seen any of my other videos, I tell you to have long-term thinking when you get involved in cryptocurrencies of any sort. Bitcoin is just the biggest boat in the cryptocurrency market right now. And there's a lot of things I like about Bitcoin that the others don't seem to quite match up with, but that's probably for another video. But it is the forerunner. It's the biggest cryptocurrency boat out there. And the more people use it, it's the more stable that it's going to get over time. So just as an example, I saw this just today and I posted it on my Facebook feed. If you are friends with me, if you're not, reach out, connect with me. I can connect with you probably better there. But Reed's Jewelers, very common jeweler that I think we all know about, they accept Bitcoin. And not only do they accept Bitcoin for just regular purchases, but they actually accept it for loose diamonds in case a person wanted to kind of diversify and add that to their portfolio as well. What does that say to you when people are willing to accept Bitcoin for diamonds? Hopefully that helps you to question the validity and the value of Bitcoin. Hopefully you question it less when you take these things into perspective and understand that that only helps for the circulation of Bitcoin in the market, which is going to stabilize it over time. And understand that the forces, the waves, so to speak, that affect all markets, including Bitcoin and other national currencies, including the US dollar, is always going to be supply and demand. There's only 21 billion Bitcoin that will ever be in circulation. We're at almost 17 million right now. So the more and more rare that gets, is the more the values are going to go up. The more that people are using it, that means there's going to be more of a demand for it and the supply is going to be going down. So from your high school economics class, you know that means values are going to be going up. Okay, so you want to be on this train. You want to be on this cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specifically, to start off with. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the link for how I earn more Bitcoin. You can just buy Bitcoin. I've said this in other videos before. You can buy Bitcoin. You can just hold on to it and you can benefit from the rising. You could even use it here and there if you had to. But think in terms of investment, okay? So plan on holding most of it and letting it grow for all the same reasons that I've just told you. And also think about putting it to work for you to multiply. So maybe that you're not always having to buy. It's the same thing that we do with money, right? We work for money. We don't expect the money that we have. We can't hold on to that and just expect that to replicate. I mean, some investments it will, but not at the rate that we're finding with cryptocurrency at this point because of all of the things that I mentioned. So get on the train, get some Bitcoin, then do what smart, wealthy people do and put that Bitcoin to work for you to increase the number that you end up having when it hits those astronomical values. Be sitting on top of that. I hope this helps. Again, Andreas Antonopoulos is another good resource. And if you need anything, reach out to me through Facebook, through the comments. Appreciate you watching. As always, have a great day.